What is up, everybody? Brendan TWL back with another video, and today we're actually going to be doing a video that I've actually never seen anybody do. So let me show you. So for anyone who is familiar or unfamiliar with this is my tiny house that I have been working on for 2 summers. And for the people who know about this, I apologize. I have never updated you guys on this project in a while. So my apologies. I just been trying to get everything done in one take. Just wanted to try to get this out of the way and not really looking into getting the second project trailer series out because we got one already. So yeah, but I guess this is an addition to the second portion of the series. But the video that we're gonna be doing is actually about a leaf spring. Just to show you from over here on the opposite side, from that on the other side of the axle from where I just was, if you look closely, you can see the spring on that portion right there is starting to bend the other way. Same on the other side. And I'm definitely not gonna be taking no chances on the road with the springs like that. So I've never seen anybody do this, but let me just tell you what I'm gonna do. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking this stock 4-leaf spring. As you can see, it has 4 leaves on here, therefore it's a 4-leaf spring. That's what I call it. I don't know, there has to be a better proper word for this, but that's what I call it. If anybody in the comments knows a bit more about these, please let me know. So we're gonna be upgrading from this stock 4-leaf spring here to this 6-leaf spring right here. And let me show you. It's got 6 leaves on this spring, and I'm actually going to be inserting a video on top of this so that way you can see the other spring that I have installed previously. But I wanted to do a kind of like a off camera. I wanted to do the installation of the first one off camera so that way I would know how to do this whenever I would have to make a video for you guys in case of you're ever thinking of doing the exact same thing. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we install the spring, I want to do a little touch up with the spring before I do anything. So with the power of editing and magic, and now the spring has been painted and clear coated. As you can see, it has red paint and the clear coat. Didn't want to cover up the numbers in case if they were important. So yeah, while that cures, I am gonna go and show you what you gotta do while this is drying. All right, so first thing you wanna do is you wanna loosen the lug nuts. So thankfully I've done this a couple times, so it's nothing new to me. I've had a trailer before, as some of you guys might remember. Yeah. Come on. Unloosing this. Is that even a word? These things were on a bit tighter than what I thought. But hey, it's a start. Of course, when you're doing projects like this, you want to make sure you get a jack stand. You never want to jack up something that's heavy and have the jack holding it up. You want to have the jack stand to do that. So let's get the jack and start raising the trailer, I guess. So I normally use the wood blocks for this because it makes it easier. And yeah, That normally helps, makes it a lot easier. One thing I found helpful is you want to make sure your trailer is connected to a vehicle with the parking brake on. I'm kind of having an issue with this, so attempt 2. I always like to set some of that weight onto the jack stand, not the jack itself. Now, let's see about getting the rest of these lug bolts out. So normally you could just undo these by hand, like what I'm doing. And what I like to do, just like on the last trailer that I had, I like to put them, kind of keep it in uniform, where whatever lug comes off of whatever stud, I try to keep it in that same pattern. So, lugs are in uniform like that. Now I can take the tire off. Just move the tire to the side. So as I said before, we're working with a stock leaf spring. And another thing I like to do, just to make sure that I don't mess up anything with the lugs, I always screw them onto the studs. Always. That's why I keep it in uniform in case I do this, which normally in most cases I do this. That way nothing gets messed up. It's a bit dusty. The hub is a little bit dusty, but of course, you know, I always try to keep the trailer parts clean as possible. This has never really been on the road yet. The only time it's really been on the road is when we took the trailer home before we started doing anything with it, which was over a year ago. But okay, now all I gotta do is get that jack stand from where it's at and put it here, so that way I can hold the axle up and start undoing the bolts here. There, now it's being held. So for this job, you're gonna need a whatever this is supposed to be. You're also gonna need a 7/8 wrench, depending on what kind of wrench you have, just as long as it's 7/8. I have another 7/8 here. It's the same thing, just a bit different. A few examples of that same thing. And then there's this 13/16. That's what this one is, apparently. And then you're gonna need a 24mm. But anyways, enough talk. Let's get started removing the spring, shall we? So, let's get started with removing the bottom portion of this, because you're gonna want to get the bottom. You're gonna want to get the axle removed from the spring before you do the spring. Let's actually readjust the camera a little bit. There we go. So, whichever way that this is meant to go. I think it's the other way around. No, wait, it is the other way. What am I doing? Got that one loose. Let's get this a better angle where you could see. I want to at least get them loose, and I want to at least try to keep my head away from the other camera, because I have two cameras actually filming to see what view is better for you guys. Okay. Good. Got the line of the camera. Okay. I should now just simply be able to undo these by hand. Okay. Do not want to lose these, so those will go on the cement. So now, make sure you have a hammer. And so, plate should come off. Just like that. Set that aside and remove these, but keep in mind that I'm going to be painting these later on. Of course, the spray painting is going to be off camera because I've already done a lot of videos on spray painting already. So anyway, this time let me go get the penetrating fluid, because I really should have used the penetrating fluid on this. But thankfully those came off without much trouble. So with the penetrating fluid, I don't have the WD-40 like I normally do, but this will work just fine. Just need enough to soak it a little bit and do the exact same thing on the other side. I almost stripped the back bolt on the other side, so thankfully I'm doing this to save me that trouble. So yeah, let's undo the bolts now, shall we? And for this, I'm gonna try not to get in the way. Apologies, but I have not posted a vlog in a good long while. Just haven't had anything to vlog about, so. Get your 7/8 and, well, whatever the hell this is meant to be. And get it on your thing back here if you can. Wait, does this even fit? Flip it around the other way. I forget how tight that these things are. I'm gonna hear my bones cracking with this. Yeah, that's easy. Came off the rest of the way. A little bolt off of there. And so let's get to the other side. Okay. So same exact thing. And again, I forget how tight that they are. There we go. Got that with my foot. Okay. Now thankfully this one actually did a lot better than the other side. Because with this bolt on the other side, I almost stripped it. And that almost led me to having to get a bolt from the store up here, Chauvin Brothers. So yeah, I'm very glad that I was actually able to not strip the bolt and still use it. So that definitely saved me a big hassle. Let's see about hammering out these bolts now, shall we? So you want to grab one of these little ratchet extender pieces that fit along the diameter of the bolt. You don't want to just straight up hammer on the bolt, because that's how I almost stripped it on the other side.
Many unbearable hours later.
Actually, let me try something. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that makes it easier. Let's get the other side. Let's try that same method on the other side. If I could ever screw it in right. And so now, spring just simply comes out, just like that. Just to show what it looks like without the spring. That's what we're doing over there. And speaking of getting the rest of this, let's get these things painted, shall we? All right, now that the spring and U-bolts are painted, let's try to get this thing on the trailer. So, same bolt. Make sure you don't lose anything. All right. Okay. just want to get the bolts started. So you always want to hand tighten them before you actually tighten these down. I'm gonna use, I just had that. Oh wait, here it is. I'm gonna use this little ratchet extender piece as a little leverage. Get this where it needs to go. That looks good enough. Bolt. Nut. Just want to make sure I'm screwing it on correctly. Now, all that's left to do is to get this down. These blocks out of the way. And now, scoot this a little bit more forward. There we go. As I was carefully doing that, I just wanted to make sure I didn't mess anything else up. So now, let's do the same process again. There we go. Now let's put these things back on. The bolts that go here. Now I ain't no professional mechanic, but some of this I get from my dad, because he's a very good mechanic with stuff like this. Of course, this is a trailer and he's never really worked on this kind of stuff before. But I guess it works. let's get the other side now, since the other side's done. I say that's a wrap. That's how you upgrade the spring. But we're not done yet, because we still need to put the tire back on it. All right, now that the tire's on and the lug bolts are hand tightened for now, I am going to set the trailer down and let's see what happens. That out of the way. Okay, that's done. Now we can lower the jack. So there you go. That's how you change and upgrade a spring on your trailer from a 4-leaf to a 6. Probably not the best camera angles because, you know, I mean, it's my first time vlogging outside in like over a year, so forgive me for being a bit rusty, but I did my best to get the best camera angles and shots that I could. So luckily with 2 devices I can have 2 camera angles, so hopefully the different camera angles from that would help. So anyways, this is Brendan TWL signing off, and hope I see y'all in the next video. See ya.